well, he was really embarrassed. What's going on? Well, he didn't know how to start the car. So in the year 2000, I worked at Ferrari of Central Florida as a detailer, responsible for moving the vehicles around in the showroom and just keeping it fresh looking. We had a experience where on the 355s, if you didn't disarm them and try and go through the protocol to start the vehicle properly, it just wouldn't start. However, on the 360, which then was the emerging must-have Ferrari, it didn't have the complete full stop. If you didn't do it right, it just wouldn't start. It would actually start on 4 cylinders. We had a customer come in who I could probably describe him as a well-dressed Italian version of Hoovy. Brilliant. He just came in a fury in a beautiful black with red interior 360, no tint on the windows, just a clean, crisp looking example. Came in very angry that his car was very slow. Okay, that's a problem. We have, is there any warning lights or anything triggering any sounds that are going on? How long have you had it? Had it a month. Okay, we hadn't had any with issues at that time. So the technician took it out, ripped up and down the road, perfectly fine. When the technician comes back, the owner doesn't come back in the shop with him. He's like, where'd he go? He's like, well, he was really embarrassed. What's going on? Well, he didn't know how to start the car. Well, he drove here. What do you mean he didn't know how to start the car? Well, he didn't realize there's a procedure to properly start the 360. And if you don't do that, it only runs on 4 cylinders. So when he's getting beat by Camrys and Accords, it's because he doesn't know how to properly operate his own vehicle. So he didn't want to come back in and admit the embarrassment of, I don't know how to operate my own car. So he tried to just save face by just quickly just driving off into the distance. Everything was fine with the car. So when most people think of Ferrari, they think extremely advanced, very fast, technically just the best. And to a point, that's correct, except when you're talking about immobilizers, some of the electronics, just of that period of time, again, 2000, not the most reliable things out there when you're comparing to Audi, BMW, or quite honestly, like Toyota and Honda. I mean, they had nothing on them. This one story goes back to the faulty issues you can run into with working on these. I walked into the shop before really we opened. I think there was maybe one person there. It was early in the morning. And I go through the side door, and I pass a vehicle that wasn't there the night before. It was a beautiful, deep, like hunter green 550, 10 interior, and it was just mint. Except that the windshield was completely shattered. Both side windows were gone, glass everywhere, and the airbags had been deployed. And it just stopped me. I was like, oh, okay. I haven't made it around to the back, so there obviously must be damage because the front was perfect. So I made it around to the back, and I do a full 360 on this car, and I'm like, there's no body damage to this. What in the world is going on here? Now, the only person there was the front office assistant, and she didn't know. She's like, I don't know, it came in last night on a flatbed. All right. So I wait for a little bit, and the service manager walks in, and he's like, have you figured out what happened? I'm like, I don't have a clue. I'm afraid to touch it, but I did go through and see the owner on the insurance cards had, Vipers and V12 AMGs and the G-Wagon, just great selection. I kind of geeked out over that. But no, what happened with this car? And he's like, open the trunk. So I open the trunk and I see an amplifier, like the aftermarket amplifier. He said, okay, now open the doors. So I open up the doors and he's like, right there, the door sill. He's like, we pulled this up. He went to an aftermarket company to put in a stereo system, which at the time Ferrari highly discouraged. And when they ran the amplifier wires and they tried to go into the electronics of the Ferrari, when they screwed back down the panels, they screwed right through one of the wires. and it shorted everything out and just exploded all the airbags, blowing every window out, just a total mess, and fully immobilized the vehicle as you would expect it to. Just putting trim on. Bah! Yeah, the sound. I mean, and I didn't even think it had 1,000 miles. And it was beautiful. That leather smell, but everything had the tempered glass, like everywhere, and just the residue that was all over. It was just, oh, I felt so bad. So that was another lesson of they may be beautiful. There's no doubt there, and they are fast, but they really do demand respect when it comes to just let the dealership work on the electronics side of that. Don't go to that really mom and pop business down the corner. It's not worth it.
Premier Financial Services has been a sponsor of VINwiki for the last 4 years, and we can't thank them enough for their support, and we love them for that, but also because their simple lease truly is a tremendous product in the world of exotic car financing. They allow you to minimize your payment, minimize your down payment, take all the tax advantages that are available for a lease, while still giving you the ability to move in and out of cars and accumulate equity. So they structure it in a very unique way that's hugely advantageous, gives you a lot more buying power, and their customer service is absolutely incredible. So we love Mitch and their team for their continued support of the channel. We thank them for that, but please visit them at the link in the description below and find out how easy it is to buy your dream car through Premier Financial Services.